Hello and welcome to Conversations with me, your host Sarahina Mayoyo, a platform that we've opened to talk all things women empowerment by women for women. Healing is a topic that has been talked about a lot, especially when it comes to women, because women have been known to come from a lot of pain, a lot of traumatic experiences from the past. Now, what this quote is talking about is how, as women, we've always thought it's powerful to hold people hostage in our lives because we carry wounds that nobody knows about. My co-host and I are going to expand on this topic in our conversation, so stay tuned. Welcome to the show, and I'm so happy to have you again. Can you just introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about yourself again?
Perfect. For those who don't know me, my name is Matsuho Njumbuka. I am a mother of 3. I am a very good friend to Sarahina, which is mostly the reason why I'm here, to have a sit down and we chat about important issues such as these ones.
Yeah. And today we are actually dealing with another deep topic, healing.
Yeah.
And specifically healing for women, which is a big one because I've, had experiences with women. And women don't like this topic because what it means is opening up wounds. And we don't like wounds. Yeah. Perhaps that's why we like makeup, so that we can cover those wounds.
So
right?
we can cover up.
Now, I want to know, in terms of healing, where are you? What do you think about healing? How do you feel about the topic?
I laugh, because I think the extent at which we don't like healing, I've denied myself the opportunity to heal from certain things that I didn't even know I was hurt by. And trust Sarahina to come to the rescue of that. I remember a conversation that we had a couple of weeks back where you were like, listen, friend, we need to go back to a certain period in your life and we need to sit down and we talk about it. And I didn't even know. I remember when we had that conversation, I cried all morning because I was not even aware that it's something that hurt me so deeply and it's something that was impacting the present. So for me, healing is a big part of moving forward.
Yeah.
It's a big part of being present in the present. And if you don't deal with those demons, and you even say, this is a quote from you, God is going to find a way to bring it to you. If he doesn't nudge you, he's going to drag you.
Yeah.
So it's going to come either way, whether it's a gentle nudge or it's a brick on your face, as Sarahina says.
Thank you so much. And I mean, what do we choose? Do we choose to be dragged? Or do we choose to listen to the nudge, And
I don't think those who are dragged did it on purpose. It's that thing of not wanting to, like sometimes you don't even know that you need this healing. Sometimes you're a toxic human being. Do you think a toxic person knows that they're toxic?
I don't think so. I don't think a toxic person knows, because I think it's what you know. It's who you've become. So
that's all you know.
So
that is all you know.
When what has happened to us becomes us, So when all you know is toxicity, you actually, that's lifestyle
that becomes normal. That becomes a norm for you.
When somebody comes to you and say this behavior is toxic, you're like, what are you talking about? This is what I know. And it's so weird that we're talking about this part of healing because, us African people, we like making jokes to one another that are hurtful, but we are joking. I'll say that your head is so big where now you look like this, and then we laugh. And we've actually gone to a point where we think it's natural.
It's okay. We think it's okay.
And as women, we actually have adopted this thing. Perhaps some of us have thought it's like a coping mechanism. I'm going to make fun of it first so that it doesn't hurt me.
Sure.
So if I grew up thinking I've got a big head, I'm going to make fun of big heads so that it doesn't hurt me. So I'm the first one to make a joke about it.
Yeah.
But we don't realize that we actually become toxic to ourselves and toxic to other people, Growing up, I became a bully. Instead of dealing with what I went through, I decided to become a bully. So to actually exert the pain I was feeling instead of, and for me, I thought it was powerful. The quote we started with also, it talks about how as women we think it's powerful to hold people hostage, and that quote leads me to another quote that I usually use that says, a woman in God's hand is powerful, but a woman in the devil's hand is dangerous. And as women, we actually don't realize the difference between dangerous and powerful. We think being dangerous means that we are powerful, right? So when people around me fear me.
Do you want to unpack the two, actually, because I don't...
Yeah, so power and danger. Being powerful means that people respect you. People around you, they honor you. They give you the respect, and even now, when you are wearing, it's with so much grace that you wear your power. Danger is when people fear you. They are afraid of you. And when I talk about me being a bully, growing up as a bully, it was a matter of, I wanted people to be afraid of me so that I will never be hurt again. But what it meant also was that my relationships were not authentic. People who were my friends were not friends with me because they liked me. They were friends with me because they were afraid of me. And also, they'd rather be on this side of the fence than on the opposite, right? So danger and power comes in there when you as a woman, you think you have to look like a man in order for you to feel powerful. You have to dress like a man. You have to exert, power like a man. We don't realize that in femininity, in being a woman, you can still exude power,
and
but
confidence.
Still be a woman. You don't have to be a man. So, that saying that says, don't think you're going to wear the pants in the boardroom and in the home. So, because now I have to be a bulldog in the boardroom, I come home and I become a bulldog in the bedroom. And I'm forgetting that now, this is
paradigms
home.
have shifted.
But it speaks to healing, because then if I heal, then I find my place. Then I'm able to, I don't need people to even validate my power. I know I'm powerful. I don't need you to show me that you think I'm powerful. I just know I am powerful. So that's the difference I'm talking about, to say that women need to look at this. Are you a powerful woman?
Or are you
a dangerous woman?
Shucks.
Then it speaks to healing.
But it almost feels like every other person is going through some sort of healing. I mean, is that the kind of society that we live in, where everyone has and I'm not only talking about abuse, because healing does not necessarily mean someone physically doing something to you. It can mean someone who speaks down on you. Well, I guess that's a sort of abuse, so but it feels like everyone is going through something, and everyone is going through some sort of process of healing. Is that the society that we live in?
Well, we are a wounded people. We can't run away from that. And remember, I mean, we are on earth, and earth is not a paradise. It's not a perfect place. We are imperfect people, which means we do imperfect things. Siyagilana, we rub each other the wrong way. We step on each other's toes. So at some point, someone is going to go through pain caused by another human being, or sometimes self-inflicted. So each and everybody has to go through a process of healing at some stage, because somebody did something, or I did something to myself. So it is important for us as women also to open ourselves up to this, because then we are able to move on and learn lessons from those wounds. And actually, I'd like us to talk about wounds, just now. I'd like us to talk about wounds, but I'd like us to go to the break. So stay tuned. We'll come back just now. Welcome back. And before the break, we were talking about healing and healing of women. And actually, an interesting thing that we discovered is that it seems like everybody needs to go through healing, because at some point, somewhere in our lives, all of us have gone through pain. All of us have experienced pain. So healing is important to everybody, all of us, each and every one of us, right?
True.
And that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yes. I think what we need to specify, or what we need to be realistic about or highlight, is the fact that when we're talking about healing, or we're talking about a wound, ne? We're not necessarily talking about something like it doesn't have to be something so deep.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because people will think, like, I don't have anything necessary to heal from because I had a nice childhood. But like I said earlier on, someone talking to you in a way that you don't like, someone saying something that demeans you, or something like it's an experience that changes your character forever.
Yeah.
So it could be easily a teacher who would tell you that, you know what, you're actually dumb.
Yeah.
You are never going to amount to anything. That's a traumatic experience that alters your future.
Exactly.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that we have to consult the police for, you know. So I think that should be our first point of departure.
Yeah.
Then we move from there.
Yeah.
If it was words that were spoken to you, and say those words. Or okay, how do we heal those words? If it was sexual abuse, go to the doctor, get physically healed, but then the psychological aspect of it.
And I think, you know, before we even get to the solution part of how we you know what I'm saying. I mean, like, it's important for us also to understand wounds, and also to understand which part of wounds hurts us the most.
Okay.
And I think that's when we'll stop weighing the pain and weighing the wounds to say that somebody who was raped
has a deeper wound. Okay.
Has bigger pain than someone who heard words, right? Because where the pain stays and where the pain is inflicted is inside.
That's true. That is true.
Physical pain, like somebody who was beaten, that pain, it actually heals. And the body heals quickly. You know, you go to the doctor, you are given betadine. Sometimes people don't even go to the doctor and it just heals on its own. But the wound that stays forever is the internal wound, the emotional wound, the trust that was broken.
Shucks.
Right? Those are the wounds that we're talking about, to say that. And when we are able to go there, we are able to see that there's no one who has a bigger pain than the next.
That's true, because it all stems from the same place.
Right?
Yes.
When it gets there, that's where actually all of us feel the same pain. So when we're talking about healing of wounds, we're not, literally saying taking off betadine and we're talking about this wound, but we're actually talking about where they stick. Because a child who was raped at the age of 5, when that child is 30 years old, sometimes they don't even see the rapist anymore. That person is not even in their lives. The body has even forgotten the rape, but the emotions have not forgotten.
So am I correct in describing it as that particular moment that alters, that traumatic experience that changes the way you view
You've
things?
Actually gone to it, that moment,
that one moment,
the feeling in the moment.
Yes,
you know, so even when we are going through healing now, sometimes as women we'll be like, you know what, I forgive. You know what, I've actually moved on.
Seated.
I've actually moved on. I'm no longer there anymore. I'm actually fine, right? But internally, that's where it actually stays. When you are alone at night, and you find that some women start becoming dependent on alcohol. Yeah. Because, in front of people, in front of friends, I'm fine. I've even forgotten.
I'm over it.
I'm over it.
But
at night,
you say you're over it and you walk away from the situation, but the situation follows you because it's with you.
There we go. It follows you. So you try to run away from it and it follows you. So when we talk about healing, we talk about facing it. Not allowing it to control, because then it controls you. Because then if it chases you, it means that your running is a response to being chased by pain. Which means that if you are running to a marriage because you are chased by pain, I don't know if that marriage is going to last. If you run to a career, a position, Kanti, the reason why you are going into that position, you are being chased by a pain. I don't know how long that will last. So there's nothing wrong with us running to success, running to good things, but what is inspiring it? Are you being chased
comes from
by something? So I think it's then important for us to understand why we have to heal, because then it means, as you are running like this, it means that you have to stop, turn around, and be like, okay, come,
let's do it. But I mean, it's easier said than done. It is easier said than done, and it goes back to what we were saying. I've attended, let alone my 101 sessions with you, but where we have like this group of women who are all here, and some are just here because it was a gathering of women, so we just want to come. But by the time people leave there, people are crying.
Yeah.
People people that you didn't even, people who looked confident and who were wearing their masks and were wearing their makeup and who look like they know what they're doing, have fallen apart. They are on the floor now because we had to sit down, face the truth.
Yeah. So imagine this physically. You've had a bandage for years, 10 years, bandage. It's like sticky tape.
Yeah.
And then that one time when it goes, right? And it's not taken slowly. It's taken off. Of course, the shock, right? And that's why the crying. But I think we need to move past that initial shock. And this is what you're talking about, to say that we've attended so many women empowerment conferences where healing has been brought up. And we get excited after that, you know, Sarahina Mayo spoke so powerfully and we know what to do. But then 2 weeks later, the person has gone back because we just took the excitement, but or the shock.
Wouldn't you say then though that it goes back to the different phases of healing? Then that's the initial phase, because sometimes, like I was saying to you with my experience, sometimes I didn't even know that I was dealing with something.
Yeah.
But you are looking at my life and you're like, she's stuck here because of this. You know, so that initial moment is important, because now at least there's a weight off where
now
you think,
know.
Okay, you know what? Even if I don't know how to deal with it, but at least I know there is a problem here.
So I think then what we're driving towards is that when that initial point has happened, don't ignore it, right? Don't act like it didn't happen. Don't shush it away. Don't wish it away.
I'm laughing because in this particular situation, I remember we had the very same conversation years back.
Yeah.
The very same conversation, maybe 10 years back, and then it didn't sink in.
Don't wish it away.
Ain't nobody got time.
But I like that example, because then it means it will come back and knock. It will come back and knock. And I think now we need to take the conversation from when it knocks, what do you do after that?
What's the next level?
Yeah. So we'll be right back. We'll continue on that point. Let's just take a break quickly. Welcome back, and you're still watching Chatting with Sarahina. Before the break, we were going deeper in the topic of healing, and we were actually talking about how it's important for us to see the reason why we need to heal, and also to realize that the wounds that we carry are not just physical, but to go internally to the wounds that we carry emotionally and mentally. And so that that healing that comes emotionally can actually speak to our physical healing, right? So that's where we were, and I think I would like us to continue on that, especially in terms of wounds. And, you know, there's a quote I actually like, and I would like to start with, that says, wounds heal, but then when wounds heal, they create scars. And scars fade. You know? So I think, you know, we need to stop thinking we have to put makeup on wounds. We have to hide our wounds. We need to allow our wounds to heal. But obviously, when a wound has healed, there's going to be a scar. So you can't reverse what happened to you. Healing doesn't mean taking out the chapter, taking out the pain. You felt the pain. It will forever be part of your story. The scar will remain. But the scar is not there to say you are a bad person or a weak person. The scar is there to say, I had a wound, but I survived.
Do you know, I think the importance of the scar is to remind you that you survived what you went through, or you survived the wound. And you surviving the wound, automatically you go to the next level.
Of course.
Automatically you become a stronger person. And you become a stronger person for the next person who possibly can go through what you went through.
I like the reminder part. Sorry to cut you. I like the reminder part. It also reminds you of what you went through so that you don't go back.
You don't go back.
Yes.
You don't go back.
You are able to detect that, you know, that pothole next time, because you've got evidence of how it ends. You know, so it actually is supposed to be a wisdom tool.
Sure.
The sky is supposed to be a wisdom tool to that say to you, remember this?
To get there.
You remember how it ends?
But even that. Now I'm thinking about the wounds and the experiences that we go through in relationships.
Yeah.
right? Then we go through in relationships, and you find that you have there's a cycle in your relationships. You get hurt the same way, you go for the same person, you go through the same experiences, and the end thereof is the same.
Exactly.
And you end up with the same scar.
So we keep replicating and we create a cycle of the pain. Why do we do that? It's because we don't deal with the wound. We don't deal with the wound. So we haven't picked up lessons from the pain. We haven't picked up lessons from the wound. As a result, it's like we are wearing blinkers. We're just walking around with blinkers with our eyes closed. But when you've healed from it, you take points out of it. You have the scar that is like a map, a GPS on you, and it tells you, you sense it next time. You can actually sense and detect if you were in a relationship with a narcissist. The next time you meet a narcissist, no matter how good the cologne smells,
you see it a mile away.
You see it a mile away because you've got GPS on you. The radar goes up to say, he may be wearing a bespoke, suit, but I can smell it because my radar is on point. There's another quote I'd like to throw in that I'm sure you've heard. It says, "You heal a woman, you heal a nation."
Oh, yes.
Right? And for me, that's huge.
That is big.
Especially when we are living in a nation that is so desperate for healing. Now, when that quote says you heal a woman, you've healed a nation, it elevates our healing as women. It makes it of utmost importance for us women to heal because we are life givers. By nature, we are life givers. So whatever comes out of us, it lives, it breathes. But if it's pain, then pain is going to live. If it's bitterness, then bitterness is going to rule and live, right? And we give birth to it, I've heard of situations where a parent would give birth to a child who is nasty, a nasty child. And when you trace it back, the mother's pregnancy was a nasty pregnancy.
Yes.
So she gave birth to what she was feeling. So our healing is not just about us. It's not just for us. It's for everyone. So when we talk about women, and I think in all the topics that we'll be talking about, we are talking about the nation, and I'd like you to just add a bit on that, when we're talking about a woman and the nation.
Do you know, I'm reminded of an episode of a show that I just watched this week, and it's a popular show. I don't know if, I'm sure I'm not allowed to say it.
Yeah, don't say it, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
I'll leave it. So, and in the show, it's a paternity show. This woman, this child has come to the show to do DNA, and then this woman, he's there with his mother. Okay. So this woman is insisting, this guy is your father, blah, blah, blah. So the tests come back, lo and behold, the guy is not the father of the son. The son obviously is gutted. My identity. Yeah. Who am I if this man is not my father? Ooh. This woman's response is, listen, dude, I told you this is your father, take it or leave it, go jump. This guy's like, I feel like killing myself. She says, if you die, I will bury you. Luckily, my policies are up to date, so I will bury you.
Sure.
Do you know people on social media were saying, this woman is so mean, she's so cruel. But when I saw that woman, I saw pain.
Yeah.
I saw pain. And that woman now has left a legacy of pain. Because she was in pain, she hurt her son. She hurt the father who thought he had a son. And then this guy automatically is going to hurt his children.
And his wife.
And then now we've got this whole drove of people who are hurt by this woman. We don't even know what her experience is. But because she was hurt, now she's hurting everyone else.
It's like a domino effect. It's a ripple effect. So I think when we are able to see it that way, we actually, it wakes us up. But I know pain, there are stages of pain. There's the stage where it's all about me. It's all about my pain. I'm the victim here. Everybody owes me something. Grief, So those stages that we go through, and it's important for us women to start waking up because things are not getting better. Things are getting worse now. And it's up to us to actually put our foot down and say that, you know what, I don't know how to. I don't know how. I don't know what it means. I don't know, the whole entire journey, but I'm willing.
Yes.
I think for me, it's not a matter of let's get it right. let's be perfect. I think for me it's, I'm willing. Let us be willing as women to start opening up those wounds and start healing. God always provides people to come and help us. You shared your story that I spoke to you years ago. We spoke a few weeks ago. So God keeps bringing me into the picture. And that's no coincidence. So God will bring people in your life to help with the, with the journey and the process. So as we sort of wrap up, I'd like to hear your last thoughts,
on the subject.
On the subject.
Do you know, I think the most important thing for me, Sarah, is women should know that your pain is valid. Never think that it's not, like I was saying earlier on, it's not important enough because of the experience that you went through. Know that in order for you to be able to face or to heal, to move from a point of hurt to a journey of healing, you need to understand and validate your pain. It is okay. You are in pain. You went through it. That's fine. How do you heal then? Find a way then to move forward to the next step of healing. And I mean, there's the likes of you. There's go to, like, speak to someone about what you went through, and I mean, start your journey of healing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think you touched on a very, crucial point that should be a topic as well.
Yeah.
Speak out. That's a crucial point, especially for women. Don't die alone in silence with your pain. Speak out. Find people that you can trust, that can support you, but don't die alone. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for joining us yet again. It was awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's an excerpt I think fits perfectly to this topic. It was written many years ago by a man named John, and it goes like this. Beloved, I pray that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers, which is what we were talking about, that your soul has to prosper. And what do we mean when we say your soul? We spoke about wounds, but which wounds did we speak about? The emotional and mental wounds. We talked about how the things we've gone through, the pain stays more in our emotions and in our mentality. So beyond going through the physical, trying to deal with the physical wounds that we have experienced, it's important for us to look at the things that stick within us. And I would like to leave you with 3 points in your journey as you begin healing. And the first one is be ruthless about your healing, which means be selfish if you need to be. Go after your healing. Don't allow anyone to come between you and your healing, which means even yourself. Look at what you've gone through. Face it. Stop running. But do not make excuses. Be ruthless about your healing. The second one is healing is not a group effort. It's a singular or individual effort, which means that stop looking at what somebody else is doing. Also, the bazothina bantu syndrome. Leave it behind when you start the process of healing, because it is not about all those people. It's about you and getting to the point where you are happy and you are fulfilled. And the third one is healing is dependent on your response. So God will bring healing to your life, but He can't force it down your throat. You have to make the decision to accept the healing. So it really relies on how you respond to it. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.